Welcome back on Conversation with Roberto Alborghetti. We just saw two films from Roberto. Think of Love with the soundtrack of Janine Barton.
Yes. And this one's only some minutes.
And then, part of the Land Rover mapping. That is. But we're talking about something completely different, aren't we? Probably the things that makes you the most known and famous out here. You are the official biographer of Pope Francis.
Official, yes. It's a big word.
It is a big word.
It's a big word.
But you wrote at the moment 6 books about Pope Francis, and the latest one it's this one here, isn't it?
Yeah.
You probably want to hold the camera there. A tavola con Papa Francesco, which translates, it might translate in a different way, but I personally translate it with dinner with the Pope. Because that's the meaning of it. It is sharing a table here in UK especially, so it's having dinner. And is that what you actually had? You actually had dinner with the Pope?
I have to say, I think, this title was suggested by the published company. I had another title, and when I speak and meet people and I say the real title I wanted to give to this book, people usually give me a reason. Because yes, the dining or a dinner with Pope Francis say a thing or say nothing for me. The real title I wanted to give to this book was we have not to joke with food.
Don't joke with food.
Don't joke with the food. Because the message of the book is for a new way, a new era for food. Because food, for me, is one of the most important thing in the life of people. Because if we don't eat, we don't live.
That's pretty straightforward.
And so it's important how the way we eat, the way we have the food.
Absolutely. But let's talk a little bit about this book. So here you basically describe the connection between the food and the Pope, the relationship that the Pope had with. But it's also like a book full of recipes. Are those recipes like coming from
the life of
Pope, the life of the Pope itself,
or some experience he had during his life?
It's a pretty unique book, I have to say.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I haven't had the time to read it all. But the little paragraph I got here and there that really gives like the idea of that the food for this Pope in particular, it's as you say, is like essential, very important, and also the sharing of the table, the time that people spend around the table. That's something that maybe in UK it's not developed yet, probably. It's taking booze. Yeah.
Sometimes also in Italy.
I was actually quite shocked when I moved in UK and there was just a couch in front of the TV and so like that's where we're having our lunch, and I was like, oh, nice country. Time has gone by. Yeah, olive oil is not sold in chemistry anymore. You can actually find it in the supermarket, and pasta is not an exotic food anymore. So UK is learning. It's getting, let's say, a hint from Italy. A big hint. But what do you think about the time spent around the table? How do you see that? Because some people find it almost frustrating, or almost like a restriction to sit on the table, to follow some rules, and other people actually think exactly the opposite. Well, what's your opinion?
Yes, I think is the center of this book is this message, because Francis say the life is not time that is passing by, but life is an experience to meet. And so one of the most important experience of meeting is when you sit around the table. The table in the history of the humanity, represent a great symbol. We are in England. The round table, no?
Absolutely.
Around the table, all the leaders decided how to give a future to a people, to a nation, to a country. Around the people, also Pope Francis decided some great action to do in the church. No, not only speaking, not only to say a prayer, but I think a prayer without an action is not a prayer. And so, life without the relationship is not life. The message of book is exactly this. The most important experience of relationship are represented when we met for a dinner, for a lunch, because the atmosphere is quite different, because people are talking better, they are relaxed, they are not stressed. No. We can experiment this upon us, no? When we go to a lunch, our mind...
It's a break.
Yes.
Break from society, break from everything.
Yes, the problems are out, no? Some thoughts you have are disappearing, because the beauty of a dinner is to speak with other family, with other people of your family, or with people you know, or some friends, or and so this book is found its inspiration first in the life of Pope, because he
when he was young, you told me before that the Pope was actually a chemistry of food. He was actually studying the chemistry around food. So.
Yes, he was a student in chemistry of food. He worked in an industry as a
food chemistry. I'm not sure how actually to call it.
So
food chemistry.
He analyzed
food analyzer.
Yes. And the other message of the book is a strong message against the food waste. I think is one of the biggest problem of our world. I say you are from Italy, so you know how food is important for Italian. But we waste in Italy 50 milliard of euro every year in waste food. 15 billion euros. It means the 0.90% of our PIL, prodotto interno lordo, how do you translate it in English? PIL, prodotto interno lordo.
Well, the internal product of a country.
Yeah.
So you also said that the time spent around the table is special, because of course you break, you relax, you chill. And what was your personal experience? Why do you think is special your time around the table?
For me, the experience of the table.
Yeah.
I think is really important, and I understood this after
spending time with the Pope
on writing
the book.
I had another point of views about food. Food is important. we are what we eat. This is important. And in the book, I tell some facts, also about not only the Pope, but about some leaders. Some leaders. I think the destiny of a nation depends also for the kind of how do you say, food
they consume.
You have, no? If we think in the Roman history, the Roman conquerors had a kind of food. Also in our times, some presidents, some leaders of some nations had a specific food that I think influenced some decision, some choices.
Well, Romans used to eat horses, and George W. Bush almost choked on a burger.
Yeah.
So it says a lot about karma and food there.
Yeah.
So,
and also the popes. Also the popes. The history of the popes, no, are very rich of facts, episodes about they had a lot of to eat, but in the same time they lose the way why and the spirit to be a pope, to be a leader, to be a guide.
What the Pope eats?
Now the Pope, this Pope.
Yeah.
Oh, I think is for me is a simple person.
No. What does he eat? I mean, what was his favorite?
Yes, he's a simple person.
So simple food.
Is simple.
Bread.
Really simple. I know because I saw him. He loves pasta, spaghetti, risotto, rice, and fruit, vegetables. He drink mate. I don't know if you know mate. Mate is the traditional
South American tea.
Traditional tea in Argentina, but very strong tea. Because if you need some energies, you have to drink mate. He drinks a lot of mate. And yeah.
He has a lot of energy.
And also when he goes, how to say, the pellegrinage visit around the world, people know that he loves to drink mate. They go to a mass, they go to a celebration with a vase of mate, and they offered him to drink. And he drinks mate, also in public, no problem. Because in Argentina, people do exactly this. They drink mate everywhere.
Chatting with you earlier, we had this conversation, and Robin Hood might be, the next Robin Hood might be
yes.
Pope Francis, because regardless his religion, status, and what he represented within the church, he's a rebel, isn't it?
Oh, yes. For some way, yes, because he raised his voice against some problems. And I think today also not all the leaders are so clear in the vision of the future. He wrote a book about the future, about the planet. Laudato Si is a chant wrote about Saint Francis of Assisi, and he wrote the encyclica. How do you say in English? Encyclica is a book, where he wrote about the future of planet, about people are destroying the planet, about we need a different economy based on the respect of the planet. So is raising a lot of problems about how we feed the people, how we run the economy of some nations. And the economy is as a fundamental, how to say, a
Basic.
upon the way you do agriculture, the way you run the land. And so he wrote a strong message for a new way to consider the problem of planet. And the destiny of planet, I think, is strictly linked to the future of food of planet, of the people, of the population. Because we have today still 50 million people who died
Starvation.
are starving, who
Yeah.
die because they have not a bread, they have not the way to feed themselves.
Yeah, Pope Francis, with no doubt, is a character on his own, and everything he said so far sometimes is shocked. Even people who are not Catholics.
Oh yes.
And yeah, he's been talking about accepting gay people within the church, and also condemning all the abuse that a priest had with children, and children, especially, it's one of his main concern, and he keeps talking about the future of the world, that it's in the hands of our children.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if that's it's a concern that was transferred by the Pope directly to you, but I noticed that the latest book you wrote are actually based on the education of how children should behave in certain circumstances, and with certain tools. And one in particular,
Yes, the first
our
one.
little companion telephone, smartphone, which are now a dangerous tool for certain, but also a tool that can help you to live. And I had the pleasure last night actually to read for the first time this Social Social. It's like a little guide that asks questions on how to use a mobile phone, and gives you alternative, and asks you to put a number, a grade on what you think the right behavior is going to be. And in the end, it gives you a sort of like a little degree if you're a social or a dissocial person. And we're probably going to translate this into English and distribute it all over the market. Because it's a very interesting book. I find it incredibly interesting. But what was the motivation you had to write a book about the use of a mobile phone?
Yes, when I was in the school, Italian school, to talk with students, to make conferences. One of the problems, on the first problem, a teacher told me about is the incredible time young people, children, are giving to smartphone or tablet. They are losing a lot of time every day. So we begin to study, to research how much time you pass with your smartphone. It's incredible the number we had in my hands. We have children of 6, 7, 8 years who pass a lot of time. I mean 4 hours
Every day.
a day. So we try to count, to do some.
Yeah, summing up, it comes almost to a month.
So it means that you pass on your smartphone in a year, 45 days, 90 days if you stay on your smartphone 6 hours, because we have young teenagers that are using smartphone 6, 7 hours a day. But which is the problem? It's not the problem of the use of the smartphone.
Yeah, it's
how
you spend the time on the smartphone.
Because if you use smartphone to do researches for school, to improve your preparation, your intelligence, your knowledge, no, it's okay. But most of the time, 99% of the time, young people use smartphone to chat, only to chat,
Yep.
to write stupid thing, silly thing, and to play with video games. No, video games really violent, really strong in language, and so which kind of people are we growing up? No, so this was the question that teacher gave me. I began to observe, to research, and other problems went out. Problems that a lot of doctors hanno segnalato, how to say,
they point out.
Yes.
And of course, it's a problem that affected child, but also adults. It's more like a social disease. In fact,
yes,
when I read the book, I actually find myself, oh wait, it is true. I do spend an hour on Facebook without doing anything.
Only it's not a problem of mind only, no, because in Italy we have young people that now are not able to write with hand. They aren't able to paint, Pam. Yes, it's called dysgraphia. No, there are people who can't read exactly the word you write. The words are written on a newspaper, on a book. They are losing the normal faculties, the human faculties. But it's not a problem only of mind, of psyche, no? Also, there is a problem of health.
Of course, bending your face,
yes,
and just looking at your mobile phone for
2 or 3 hours a day. A lot of people don't know the effect of blue light. Blue light. This one is blue light. The effect of our visual system, because blue light have a frequency, a different frequency from the sunlight, and so young people who stay during the night at 10 centimeters
the retina gets
from the screen, and one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, they are losing the view. They are destroying the retina, the macula.
One thing struck me also when I read this book, that you mentioned that the nets, the web, needs our time to survive.
Yeah.
And they do whatever they can to hook us up with the post and blink and noises and notification. We get really like, it's more like we are becoming junkies or ourselves, our habits that are constructed by this huge colossus like Google or Facebook. But what do you think is the solution? What can we do?
I can quote what said the father of web. Is an Englishman. Is Mr. Berners-Lee, who said in an interview some months ago, Internet we have invented a machine that are destroying us. So, come si può dire? He asked forgiveness. Tim Berners-Lee, if you go in interview to Vanity Fair, in an interview to Vanity Fair, and I quoted this what he said, because it's very interesting. Why the father of internet say? If you translate, I think is interesting. He said that he created the internet to create a better condition for the world, no?
Yeah, exactly.
For the people.
So he created as a tool to change and better the face of the world, and instead the web is ruining humanity. Instead of serving as it should have been, ruining several aspects. And it's time to produce a large-scale phenomenon of anti-humanism.
Yes.
That's a pretty strong word from the same man that actually made it.
The father of internet is saying, see, this thing, because he's really preoccupied about the destiny of people, because some people are destroying their life.
Of course.
In Italy, we have the, not also in Italy, because it's a phenomenon from Japan, ikikomori. Ikikomori means to live apart of the life, from the life. And there are young people who live in their room without having any contact
with the rest of the world.
Neither with their family.
So social media are not so much social, aren't they?
Yes, yes. So the aim of the book is to give some news, to saying to the young people, use internet, use the technology, use the digital device we've had. We have to put head. You have to put attention in what you do. No, don't waste time. Use the technology to improve yourself, to improve your life, to create a better world, not to destroy the world.
Of course, like any tools. The tools actually
Yes.
does what is the gun. The gun doesn't kill the person. It's the person that kills
Also
the person.
a knife. A knife is very useful, no? In a kitchen.
So
No?
social media are dividing us.
But with a knife you can kill a person too. So I think our generation have not so much skill.
So we can running out of time, Roberto.
We have to run.
No, we running out of time.
We have finished.
Almost
Okay.
Almost there. Last question.
But we're
Last
not
question.
taking questions now.
Question from the people.
Last question will come from the audience.
From the audience.
And if no one has a question, I have my last question. What's next for you?
Oh, I'm writing another book. This summer I had to write another book about the education, about our way to be today cittadini,
Yep.
citizen, how we can do. We have the power to be citizen, but what can I do to be citizen? And so we have to teach young people, no? Because they are losing, for example, the respect of rules, no? Also in Italy, we live in a wonderful country with wonderful monuments, but children sometimes they are, destroying some monuments. They don't know where they live, no? I think today the problem is to observe, to love the land where you born, no? And so, if you live in Nottingham, or if you live in Rome or Milan, you have to know where you live. You have to love where you live, and to see where you live. So, is important, or not?
Join to the stage with Marisa.
Okay.
Viva Marisa!
That's a very powerful discussion, really, and getting your views right up to date. I thought it was really, really fascinating. I want to ask the audience now about the discussion with conversation with Roberto, also about his visuals, that he creates. So who's going to start me off? Right. Who's going to ask some questions? Come on.
I don't think there is a... Marissa's the one who's not going to take no for an answer, so you better...
She's not a teacher.
I'm talking a bit on the popes, the book about the Pope and eating and that sort of thing. Is he vegetarian or vegan?
I don't understand.
Is the Pope vegetarian or vegan?
Vegan.
No, I think he eat all, but he loves vegetables.
A lot of vegetables.
Yeah.
From the recipe I've seen in this book, he's definitely not vegan.
No.
Yeah.
But he say to eat with how do you say balance. No, you have to balance your
A balanced diet.
yes. But he preferred to eat in a simple way. He loves simple cooking. As in Italian, we have pasta, spaghetti, no, tortellini, tortelloni, ravioloni, no. And so this is which is
Asado.
asado. Asado is an Argentinian plate
Delicious.
because he is from Argentina. But I collect some recipes inspired by his life, where he lived. Also, his family is from Italy, from Piedmonte. No? Where is Robert Richardson? You go in Piedmonte. Ask in Piedmonte, we have nuts, and so with nuts we can create wonderful cakes.
Hi, Robert. Maybe we'll get back to your visual thing and about colour, because I first came across your work on LinkedIn, and what hit me was all the fantastic colours, and you sort of said red is your favourite colour, or is a favourite colour.
My favorite color.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, what I was interested in a sense, was when you said sometimes the sun isn't right for your colours, and so you don't take the photographs. I mean, could you explain that a bit more? I mean, what do you let colours affect you? What do colours mean to you?
I think as Goethe, is an author, William Goethe was an author who lived in Germany in 17th century, 18th century. He said that the colors are life. A life without color is not a life, I think. And so colors are energy for me. Colors, yes, I have some favorite colors, like red, like blue, like yellow, like green. Yes.
We should probably...
I think the rainbow is a great palette. No, from across the rainbow we can bring a lot of colors to put them together, and the beauty and the mystery of a painter, I think is a wonderful thing. But also I love colors I found in cracks, and so here I remember what a great poet said, Leonard Cohen. He was do you know Leonard Cohen?
Leonard Cohen.
Leonard Cohen, yes, he said that cracks are everything. Air cracks are in everything, because that's how we can perceive the light.
Roberto, we can literally speak for hours with you about so many different things.
Sorry for my English,
But
not good.
just 1 second, because we can't hear you without the microphone.
I don't.
So could you
You
repeat the question?
know, when you talked about you weren't so interested in having the sun on the coloured object, did you mean that you thought that the sunshine, when it was very bright, was inclined to bleach colour a little?
Ah, yes, because sometimes
Yes.
if when I take photos and at my shoulder there is the sun,
Yeah.
it creates a shadow.
And
It's not a natural.
shadow as well. Yeah.
So, if you do a test, the same thing, if you take a photo to a thing with the sun, as different colors, respect the picture with sun, but covered by the shadow.
Yeah.
I mean, no?
Yeah.
There are
That's
different colors. There are two. I took picture in this condition, and I had two different effects, two different results.
You have to stand to one side. Take it out.
No, but I discovered what I have to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant.
I meant more about the bleaching out. It's like Matisse said, that he wasn't so interested when he was in Morocco in the very bright sun, because it bleached the colours.
Anybody else got any more questions about colours and no? We're going to wind it up now.
There are so many subjects we could talk about. We could literally have another 2 hours in front of us. But from the studio, they tell me that we actually ran out of time.
I
Roberto,
have to give some picture.
We have a present here for someone.
Yes.
I heard.
I think that
It wasn't
it's
planned. There you go.
some of my first picture.
Yeah.
I printed in a unique copy,
Oh wow.
and so I want to give one to the mayor. Mayor,
Is
please.
it- Would you like to join us on stage?
The mayor. Marija, come here, please. Thank you so much for your participation. This is for you.
Yes, lovely. Being a photographer myself, I can well understand a lot of what has been said, particularly about colours. And if I can say to you, if you want some different colours of the sun,
Yeah.
you've got to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We call this the blue hour,
Yeah.
and late at night, 8:30, 9 o'clock. So thanks for...
Thank you so much.
On your behalf, to say thank you very much for a very interesting conversation piece. And I think the thing was, the gentleman who did the interview, he hit the nail on the head. We could be here another 2 hours. And I tell you, we can still learn a lot more.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Another one to my friend Simon Barton. Where is Simon? Where is Simon? Simon.
Simon is coming.
Because all began
With Simon.
because of him and because of Marija. Look, do you love? Yes. It's sign. Without sign, it doesn't worth nothing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very much, Roberto.
And one for you. No, one for you. It's one. This one, I think, you love. Yes.
Absolutely beautiful.
And one for Karen. Where is Karen? Now, Karen, you have to put a video. The last one. The ghost bus. No, Simon. Do you want to see the ghost bus? video in the final.
Fantastic. Well, a bit of a random ending here, but yeah, we're going to show the Ghostbusters video, which is about 13 minutes long. So we're going to play the video.
13.
13.
No, I understand 35.
No.
No, 13. No, but some why we have how do you say? I know.
Everybody would like to see the original
When we
Ghostbusters.
say hello, we how do you say? We leave the saloon. Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay.
The video is on.
Okay.
Okay.
Karen.
Thank you very much for coming, everyone.
Karen.
And thank you very much for...
I know you love red. I know you
really
love
doesn't want to leave the
red,
stage.
blue.
We can just stay
For you.
another 2 hours. I have absolutely no problem.
Thank you, William.
Thank you very much. It was a brilliant conversation. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and thank you, everyone, for watching on the internet.
Thank you.